2 years ago, I became aware of two things. First of all, Jersey is trying to make a tech society, a digital society. But I was being told by businesses that they couldn't get the staff, so they couldn't bring their businesses here to do tech. The other thing I became aware of, courtesy of my teenage son, was that the schools weren't teaching coding. We live in a digital society, and yet we weren't teaching our kids how to get involved in that digital society. So I decided to set up something with the help of a whole load of mentors from the tech industry to set up Jersey Coders, which is a teenage coding club, and we meet once a week in term time. But through that, I became aware of something else. I've got about 40 kids registered in Jersey Coders, but of that 40, only 4 are female. The 4 wonderful girls you see here before you, who I had the pleasure and pride to mentor during the Global Technovation Challenge, and they're going to tell you more about that in a moment. We now have, percentage-wise, less women working in the tech industry than we did in the 80s and 90s. So not only have we been failing to teach our kids coding in schools, but we're failing to motivate 50% of our population. So what are we doing wrong? And I'm hoping, I'm just a warm-up act, I want the girls to give you their viewpoint on what's going on and how they feel that we should be able to move from here. But there's one final thing I want to just sort of leave you with a message with. I've spent my career working with words. I'm a journalist, I'm a broadcaster. But I live in a digital society. We all do as adults. We work with technology, we live it, we do everything. We can't rely on our kids to sort of program the smart TV. We have to also get involved ourselves. So I'm not just doing Jersey Coders, I'm not just talking about it, I'm also doing it myself. I'm learning to code. I don't have a maths degree, I have a politics degree. I don't have a maths A-level, but I'm still learning to code and I'm loving it, I'm creating with it, and it's fantastic. So my final message is it doesn't matter what age you are, it doesn't matter what sex you are, you can still get involved in coding and become part of the digital world. But the main thing I want to do is I want to introduce you to these 4 girls who are Team Hydra, Gabriella, Candela, Nerea, and Laura. Take it away, girls.
Hi. So, as Gwyn said, we were part of the Technovation Challenge 2015. It's a global challenge that links girls throughout the world. You have to create an app from start to finish. So that includes pitching, business plans, everything. So we were 4 girls in a club of 40 boys, and it's not the easiest being different in that aspect. And so we came together and we decided we want to do this. We want to, make a move, bring Jersey onto the map in that sort of way and do something different. So we spent a couple of sessions, planning, thinking of what we could do, and we decided on creating an app called GiftAway. So essentially, GiftAway links your unwanted items with people who can use them. So it helps with both like social problems and also environmental problems, considering there'll be less waste. So in the beginning, we just thought, okay, we're just going to try this out and see what happens. So we began to get in touch with different people, speak with people, see how they could help us and how we could help them. And so we began coding. We started designing things, coming up with ideas, trying different things, and finally, we had created an app. We also had to create the business plan, obviously, and that came along with all the objectives that came across then. And so we put this forward to the Technovation Challenge, and we managed to beat the UK with our pitch. So we came forward as the group representing the UK against Asia, Australia, and Europe as well. So, and we were in the top 5, so we got through the semi-finals as well. But unfortunately, we didn't make it to the finals, but we are definitely going to keep developing our app, and we want to make it a reality, get it out there, do something, change the world, essentially. But the reason we did this was because our school wasn't providing enough, and I think Nerea will explain.
So, as we've said, we were a very small minority in a group of 40 teenagers who were all wanting to learn coding. We wanted to learn coding because we all felt that our schools weren't providing it. And at the time, we all went to the same school. In the last 30 years, the number of women who go to university has risen, yet the percentage of women in the tech industry has gone down. And we want to know why. Why are girls deciding that tech isn't that interesting, that tech isn't for them? Well, it's not really maybe teen years. Maybe it's more like when they're 5, when they're children, when they're learning about the world. When we were little, we had Pokemon, right? And in Pokemon, the first games didn't allow the character to be a girl. Maybe they grew up and started liking the PlayStation. Call of Duty didn't allow you to play a female character until last year in September, and now it's only when you're playing in multiplayer. And we're thinking, maybe this is the issue. Maybe the reason that there aren't enough women in the tech industry is because the tech industry is teaching us that we're not worthy to be played on a game. We're not worthy to be able to fight, to be able to show ourselves. There's a girl in my class who wants to be in the military when she grows up, yet she's been taught by Call of Duty that it isn't for girls.
So as well as this, our school offered us a course on technology, on GCSEs. So anybody can apply in our year. So there's 100 students. The course got scrapped as less than 6 students applied, which means our school refuses to teach computing. There is no way for us, for girls of our generation, to learn computing through school. Hence why we needed to make a move and do it ourselves. And that's what this generation is enforcing on us. We have to learn ourselves. So, technology in schools. It's not the best, and we're going to have to make a move on our own. So why do we love technology? What is it that compels us to make a difference, to do something? And it's unique to each person. So, Candela?
I love tech because it allows me to learn more about the world we live in, and it allows me to help those who maybe can't learn about tech. For example, at school, we've recently learned about a project in which we will be able to connect with people in Ghana and Nepal, and we can help each other to learn about coding.
I love tech because, well, it's developed so fast, and also in films, tech is a huge part of them.
I love tech because it allows you to connect with people. It allows you to create so many more things and collaborate so much easier with other people.
Technology is a big part of my life because it's always been there. So from when I was little, I grew up with my dad in the technology industry. I grew up playing Xbox, doing gaming, all that sort of thing. I came to Jersey and things stayed the same. I started to drift away. But I managed to reconnect through the Technovation Challenge through Jersey Coders. And I love technology because it is a way to influence the world. It's a way to put what you want out there. It's a way to help people. It's a way to help yourself. And I think that's important. So, tech and art. Tech influences every aspect of life. And the sooner we come to terms with that, I think the easier it's going to be. So, Laura.
These designs I drew on my iPad, and as you can see, our main logo, the GiftAway, is a stork, and that symbolizes giving, and it's got a package, so it's sort of order. And our Hydra logo, each head represents each of us, and the colors we thought about, the white on the stork is uplifting, and the green represents recycling.
So yes, tech does influence every area, and a lot of girls turn down tech because they think it's too much maths, or it's too nerdy, or it's too geeky. But tech is relating to every topic. And for instance, art. There are so many ways to get art into tech, so many ways to get art into media. And so tech is going to be in every state, every job, it's going to be there.
So
It's already everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's already everywhere. In practically in every film that you see, tech has been involved. In the different scenes that you see, cameras have been made. Cameras are what have made them. There will be a lot of touching around, maybe even if you're watching an animated one, that is all tech. If you are watching Iron Man, everything there has been made using tech. They track the movement of a person, and then they create that and somebody then draws over it. And it's
I think what the girls are trying to say is that technology is everywhere and technology is creative. And I think the people who say that coding is just about maths and it's boring and it's dull, which is what Google's surveys say that a lot of women say, they're wrong. And I think what the girls are trying to show is that they love it because it's in every walk of their lives. And no matter what you enjoy doing, you can do it through tech.
All right. So it's great. We've outlined all the problems, but what can we actually do to change it? What can we do to get women involved? And I think what we need is women making things for women. Because, all right, there's a lot of games aimed at boys, but we need things for women. So to get girls involved, how can we do it?
I think one of the things about tech is that to get girls involved, you need to have people that will inspire them, that will show them what they can do. And the only way to do that is to have people in tech. However, we have very little women in tech, and we know very little about them. So if we can raise awareness that there is women in tech and the amazing things that they can do, then I think more women will want to be in tech, and then you will raise even more awareness.
Overall, so the Forbes magazine, this had a list of the most influential, powerful women. I think that of under 45s, let me just check my notes. So 7 of the top 25 executives in tech are in the tech industry, and they are in the most powerful women of the under 45s. The top 12, 4 of them were in entertainment, 5 were in tech, with a further 3 in politics and other industries. Women in tech are powerful, is what I'm trying to get across.
It's not only in... So robots are becoming a very big part of today. We have cars that are driving themselves. Most of you, when you go on an airplane, it's not being driven by the pilot. There's already a program in there telling the airplane where to go. In a few years, maybe the same will be happening in medicine. A robot will have a steadier pace. Its hands won't tremble, or the pieces won't tremble. You will be getting operated on by a machine. And do you really want a machine to operate on you when you have no idea why or how it's doing it? You have no idea what the probability is that the program will go wrong? If women want to make sure that they are secure about this world, they need to know how things work. They're using Facebook, Instagram, they know how to use it, but they don't know how it works. They don't know why it works the way it does. And we want to know why they're not interested.
But the fact of the matter is that we need to get women into the tech industry. And doing this, we need to support women, do it together. Everybody needs to play a part. Man, woman, children, it doesn't matter the generation. We need to break through this and get out there. And that's what we've tried to do.
Well done, girls.